The Chihuahua is the only Native American toy breed registered by the American Kennel Club and has long been prized for his alert intelligence and devotion to family and home. The Chihuahua is thought to have been developed centuries ago in Mexico from a native Central American breed. Although little is known of the Chihuahua's early history, this diminutive companion dog began appearing in the United States by the mid-19th century. Its loyalty and attentiveness soon assured its place as one of the most popular of toy breeds. The Chihuahua is shown in two varieties, the smooth-coat Chihuahua on the left and the long-coat Chihuahua on the right. Smooth and long-coated dogs are not shown together, except in best-of-breed competition, as specialties, and in the toy group. No preference should be given to either coat. You'll be seeing many Chihuahuas during this presentation. Some are outstanding examples of the breed. Others are less so. But all will help your understanding of the Chihuahua. Now, let's begin. In general appearance, the Chihuahua is a graceful, alert, swift-moving little dog with an expression described in the standard as saucy. He is a compact dog with terrier-like qualities of temperament. As for size, the standard gives no specific measurements for height at the withers, but it does call for both dogs and bitches not to exceed 6 pounds in weight. Remember, the Chihuahua is a small dog and has been carefully bred over the years to maintain its diminutive size. Although the standard does not specify a minimum size or weight, any dog or bitch over 6 pounds in weight must be disqualified. The Chihuahua's body is slightly longer, measured from point of shoulder to point of buttocks, than height at the withers. Somewhat shorter bodies are preferred in males. This dog's body proportions are correct, giving him a well-balanced appearance. This dog appears to be too long in body. This dog's body is well proportioned, being slightly longer than the height at the withers, with a firm, level top line. Let's begin our detailed examination of the Chihuahua with the head. It's characterized by a well-rounded apple-dome skull, which has good breadth between the ears. The cheeks and jaws are lean and flat. This head lacks the apple dome shape of the skull. The domed skull is an important breed characteristic, and skulls which lack this shape are not typical. This skull has the correctly domed shape. Also notice the clean lines of the cheek and jaw. The muzzle is moderately short, is slightly pointed, but not snipey. This muzzle, however, is too long and pointed. There is too little underjaw. The nose may be black or self-colored according to the dog's coat color. A pink or ruby nose in blonde or white-colored dogs is permissible. Teeth may meet in a level bite or in a scissors bite, like this. Overshot or undershot bites, or any distortion of bite, should be severely penalized as a serious fault. Bad mouths have always existed, but unfortunately are becoming more prevalent in the breed. Judges must check carefully for a proper bite. There should be sufficient underjaw to provide adequate housing for the teeth. Too much underjaw is also incorrect. The ears are large, like this, and are held erect when the dog is alert. In repose, they flare to the sides at about a 45-degree angle. Long-coated Chihuahuas sometimes have extremely heavy ear fringes, which can cause the ear to tip if the leather is weak. It is imperative to check carefully in both smooth and long coats to see that the ear is correctly shaped and held erect. What about these ears? They're too small and out of proportion to the head. These ears appear to be too large and are set too high. This is faulty, as are ears which are set too low, like this. These ears are correctly proportioned and placed well on the head. Note that cropped ears or broken down ears are a disqualification. The Chihuahua's eyes are full and set well apart. They're large, like these, but not protruding. Luminous dark and luminous ruby are the most common colors, although lighter colored eyes in blonde or white-colored dogs are permissible. In any case, the eyes should be large and expressive of the Chihuahua's alert nature. Eyes too small, like these, are faulty and detract from typical expression. Here again is the typical Chihuahua head, with a well-domed skull, large, erect ears, and large, full eyes. Many Chihuahuas have a soft spot on the top of the head, called the molera. It remains throughout the dog's life. This feature may or may not be present, and is not a factor in your judging. Now let's consider the Chihuahua's neck, top line, and body. The neck is slightly arched, like this, and should slope gracefully into lean shoulders, to the level back. There is usually a ruff about the neck in both smooth and long-coated dogs. It is heavier and more obvious in long-coated Chihuahuas. The neck should be in proportion to the dog's overall appearance and should never be short and thick or too long and weak. The well-angulated shoulders should blend smoothly into the musculature of the rib cage. The shoulders meet the upper arms at about a right angle. The straight forelegs are set well under the body, like these, giving free play to the elbows. Correct front construction is an essential factor of proper movement. The pasterns should be fine but sturdy, like these. Feet are dainty and small, with toes well split up and arched, not spread. What about this dog's front assembly? His neck is too short, and he's too straight in shoulder and upper arm. The lack of proper angulation of shoulder and upper arm means the forelegs are not placed sufficiently under the dog. From the front, you can see that the forelegs are straight and never bowed. The chest is substantial for a small dog, adding a sense of strength about the forequarters. Here, we see forelegs which are not straight, which is not desirable. This dog is loaded in shoulder and out at the elbow, making him toe in. Note here the correct front assembly, with lean, sloping shoulders and forelegs set well under the dog. This is a good body, too, with level top line, short, strong back and loin, and slightly sloping croup. This bitch is long in loin and too steep in croup. The Chihuahua should have a level top line, like this, never sloping downward. Ribs are rounded, although not barrel-shaped, and there should be plenty of brisket. This dog's roached back is not desirable. This dog's low shoulders and high rear are undesirable. And this top line slopes down from withers to croup, which is also not correct. The tail is moderately long, set on as a continuation of the spine. It can be carried either in a sickle, which may be up or out, or in a loop over the back, with the tip just touching the back. The tail should not be carried down and should never be tucked under. This low tail set is faulty. Note that crop tails or bobtails are disqualifications. In smooth-coated Chihuahuas, the tail is flat in appearance and furry, while on long-coated dogs, the tail hair is full and long, forming a plume. Hindquarters are muscular, with well-let-down hocks like these. There should be a sense of power and strength to the hindquarters. Angulation should be in balance with the forequarters. From the rear, see how the low-set hocks are well apart and turned neither in nor out. Again, you can see the firm muscling of the hind legs. This dog's rear is not correct. It lacks the proper angulation. Over-angulation in the rear is also not desirable. And this weak rear is also incorrect. Despite its size, the Chihuahua is a sturdy dog with no sign of weediness or weakness. This correct rear is well muscled and well angulated and will allow the dog to move with the firm, sturdy action called for in the standard. Rear feet, like the front feet, are small and dainty, with well-cushioned pads. Now let's discuss the Chihuahua's coat. The smooth-coated variety has a close, glossy coat, soft in texture. There may or may not be an undercoat. There should be slightly longer hair on the neck, forming a ruff, while hair on the head and ears may be more scanty. As for long-coated Chihuahuas, the coat should be of a soft texture and may lie flat, like this, or be slightly curly. Undercoat in this variety is preferred. There should be feathering on the legs, as well as pants on the hind legs. Note again the fringing on the ears. The coat should always be full and abundant. A large ruff on the neck is desired and preferred. A too thin coat in a long-coated Chihuahua, resembling bareness, is a disqualification. As for color, any color is acceptable, with no one color preferred. The color may be solid marked or splashed. The Chihuahua should move swiftly with a firm, sturdy action, with good reach in front and drive from the rear. The top line should remain firm and level. From the front, the forelegs should swing straight forward, close to the ground, being thrown neither in nor out. The legs will tend to converge toward a central line of gravity as speed increases. It should not single track. And from the rear, you should see good drive, with the hocks remaining parallel to each other, also with slight convergence. The pads should be clearly visible. This high stepping gait is incorrect movement, as it wastes energy and covers less ground. This dog is crossing in front, while this dog is moving too wide in front. Both are incorrect. This dog is tracking much too wide behind. This dog is crossing in the rear, also incorrect gait. Here again is good Chihuahua gait, swift and graceful. One further note about your judging of Chihuahuas. Breeders and exhibitors strongly object to the practice of examining a Chihuahua on the floor. If a dog needs to be re-examined, always place it back on the table or have it held, rather than coming down on the dog. Although one of the world's smallest dogs, the Chihuahua is big on heart and affection for his family and his home. Readily adaptable to a city apartment or a country estate, the Chihuahua is sure to remain one of the most beloved canine companions.